We're going on a summer holiday and you should come with us. Like true Canadians, we're loaded up with Tims and we're ready to hit the road. We make our way through beautiful Ontario and then Quebec. We cross over the border and we make our way into beautiful Vermont. This place is so beautiful, lush and green. It's full of mountains and valleys and it has beautiful views. Next, we crossed into New Hampshire and we make our way into Crawford Notch State Park. This is a 5,000 plus acre park and is full of mountains, valleys, and lakes. The streets are lined with beautiful silver birch trees. Finally, we cross into Maine and the roads are winding here as well. The towns are gorgeous and the moon follows us wherever we go. Tomorrow we're going to be exploring the downtown area, but for tonight, it's time to find a hotel and call it a night. Day 2 and we're ready to go. We make our way into the old fort area of Portland. There's a lot of brick here. The city was burnt down 4 times. You can take a walking tour, a trolley tour, but we decided to take the Lover's Cruise. We had some time to kill, so we took in the sights. We started to get a little hungry and needed a snack, so took a look around and saw what was available and decided to go to the Portland Lobster Company. You have to try the chowder, they say. It's time to get on a boat and finish off our snack, this delicious calamari, washed down by a drink. Casco Bay is beautiful and studded with a bunch of lighthouses. We saw Bug Light, the Spring Point Ledge Lighthouse, the famous Portland Head, and Ram Edge Lighthouse. Beautiful weather, managed to take 40 winks, don't tell my husband. On the way back, we saw where we were going to be eating, and once docked, we made our way to Luke's. The restaurant comes highly recommended, and we wanted to make sure to dig into some lobster. I ordered a Maine mojito and a trio of rolls. I also tried the chowder again, and this crab roll took the cake. It's day 3. We parked our car at the station since parking in downtown Boston is super expensive. We're taking the commuter train and this is only about a 10 to 15 minute ride. This reminds me so much of downtown Toronto. A must-see on our list is the Boston Tea Party. Here we get to see reenactments from the 17th century. Apparently, I'm Thomas Melville today and my husband is Benjamin Burton. We make our way to the ship and we learn about what happened that night in 1773. I was the first one to want to throw the tea overboard. Such a great feeling. We visited the rest of the ship. It's just a replica, of course, and got to see how this would have been back in the days. Everyone wanted to throw the tea overboard. One last huzzah, and we make our way to the museum, which we're not allowed to photograph. We sampled the tea at Abigail's Tea Room and then moved on to see the rest of Boston. I never met a painted cow I didn't like. We traveled through the streets of Boston, taking in all of the sights and the amazing architecture. This small building is the original State House. And this is the clock tower that's always wrong. We make our way through Union Street and stumble on the New England Holocaust Memorial. This is a tribute to the 6 million Jews that died in the Holocaust. As you cross over the tower, steam comes out of it. Next is the Boston Public Market. This market has a really relaxed feel. They also offer live cooking demonstrations. I wish I could have seen one. There's lots of seafood on the offer, but my husband wanted to eat Moroccan food, so we ate at Moroccan. There are many artisan shops here as well. We want to see Quincy markets. We make our way back down, but the statue of Mayor Kevin White holds us back. After Mayor Kevin White let go of my husband, we made our way to Quincy Market. Any time of the week or weekend, there's action at this market. There's never a shortage of street performers. We made our way into the market and totally different vibe from the other market. It's a lot tighter and way more restaurants. If you're here for the chowder and the lobster, you won't be disappointed. But there's also all kinds of cuisines to choose from. You can eat your meal upstairs or you can sit outside right around Quincy Market. I prefer to sit outside as there's plenty of entertainment. If you have little kids, you can visit the Dino Safari exhibit. We take in some of the public art exhibits at Long Wharf. Marriott is here, you can do some whale watching or visit the aquarium. We have some time to kill, so I indulge in a cold margarita. Cheers. The weather today is absolutely amazing and we're super excited to start our cruise. As we board our cruise, we get a really good view of the Codzilla. You can ride this if you're in the mood for adventure. We pull out into the harbor and take in the sights. The skyline is gorgeous, and as we pull away, we see all of the man-made islands as well as Logan Airport and the Castle Island. The views here are breathtaking. That's the Leonard Zakin Bridge. This is the USS Destroyer, which we hope to see tomorrow. On our way back by foot on Atlantic, we see Rove's Wharf. We head back to South Station, but we made the mistake of taking the red line instead of the commuter train. It's rush hour, so it's crowded, and we're both ready to call it a night. It's day 4 after a really good breakfast at the Hyatt Braintree. We're fueled up and ready to go. Today we're a little bit smarter, and we checked out the schedule before we left. At Braintree Station, we're going to take the commuter train in. It's only going to take us about 10 to 15 minutes, and we've reached Southside. From the station, it's a really short walk to the wharf where we're going to catch the trolley. There's so much to see along the way, and the art installations are amazing. Here's our trolley, and we're ready to board. Our intention today is to see the battleships, and we make our way to Charlestown Navy Yard. There are 2 ships on display today, and before we see them, we make our way to the first museum, which is free, by the way. Here you can see many parts of the ship that have been preserved. After this, we're ready to board the ship. After the museum, it's finally time to visit the ship, the USS Constitution. This ship is packed with people that want to learn about her great history. This battleship was built in the 1700s and has brought Britain and France to their knees. This ship has been carefully preserved. It has 4 levels, and you can see how the sailors lived in the old days. And this is where the lieutenants used to hang out. Everything is small and tiny, but it's packed with everything they needed for their long journeys on the water. The highlight of my day was hoisting the US flag aboard this amazing ship. And my husband took it down. He learned so much about old Ironsides, and I even learned how to properly fold a flag. Next, we're off to visit the USS Cassin Young. This is a Fletcher-class destroyer for the naval forces. It was built in the late 1800s and continued to sail the seas till the early 1900s. It's very different from the other ship. Everything's made of metal, and it has a lot more newer technology. It's a communication center, sick room, but what really fascinated me, of course, was the kitchen. This looks pretty state-of-the-art, even for that time. These are the captain's chambers, a control room, and his private kitchen and dining room. The views from this ship are absolutely breathtaking. Next, we're going to move on to the museum. Now check out the interactive museum. This is basically free, but there is a suggested $10 per person entry. I had a lot of fun with this Alka-Seltzer, and we check out all of the other exhibits. There's always great art to see in Boston. We hop back onto the trolley and make our way to Quincy Market. As usual, there is a crowd outside the market, and there's tons of street performers doing their thing. Today we're going to be eating in the market, so I'm super excited. We decided to go to Boston and Maine and enjoy the lobster rolls and the chowder, of course. Delicious. After those heavy lobster rolls, we decided to walk it off to the north end. This is equivalent to our Little Italy. It's filled with stores, but we're looking for Mike's Pastry. Oh my God, look at the lineup for these delicious treats. My husband wanted to give up, but I wasn't budging from the line. Although it's a long line, it does move fairly quickly. Once we get inside, it's a very simple bakery with lots of history. They have all kinds of pastries here, but their cannolis are famous. We quickly grab a bunch of treats, and I can't wait to eat that eclair. We're ready to go. And on our way, we grab ourselves a cappuccino from Cafe Littoria. This is right next door. Another famous place is Modern across the street, but we didn't have time to go there. We now make our way towards the trolley. We head back to the old State House. This is where the Boston Massacre occurred. And we hop back on the trolley. This is the Liberty Hotel. What our tour guide points out that it used to be a jail, and that part is still maintained today. If you watch the TV show Cheers, you'd really want to visit this site. However, it was under construction, so we decided not to hop off. You have to admire all the old historic houses on Beacon Hill. There's a bunch of high fashion shops in this area. Here's the Berklee School of Music. This is the Trinity Church. It's a historic building, and you have the John Hancock Tower in the background. Coming up is the Park Plaza. This is a venue for many weddings. Here's Boston traffic at its finest. This historic building is the Old South Meeting House. We make our way back to Southside Station and we're ready to go home. Once settled in, we're ready to tuck into the sweet treats we bought from Mike's Pastries. Day 5. We've checked out of the hotel and we're ready to hit Cape Cod for the day. There are so many amazing restaurants along the way, but we want to make sure to hit the very peak of Cape Cod, and we're headed to Provincetown. It's a long drive, but the scenery is totally worth it. There's literally sand on both sides. Am I in Dubai or what? You can park and enjoy the beach for the day. On this trip, we're going to be exploring Provincetown. As we approach, the towns are super quaint and quirky. As you get into the heart of Provincetown, the challenge here is finding parking. We hit a couple of beaches and the locals are super nice. If you're planning on staying here, leave the car behind and start pedaling. We're headed for lunch and we find this cute little restaurant called Boobalas by the Bay. What attracted us was this massive parking lot because parking is so scarce. The menu is quite exhaustive and I settled for the house drink. What did we order? More clam chowder, of course, and lobster rolls. Look how amazing these are. Next, we explore Provincetown on foot. This is such a quaint little town. The stores are amazing and the beaches are simply awesome. There's plenty of shopping here as well, lots of quirky little things and lots of sweet treats. After this amazing day, we're headed to see family in Connecticut. We're en route to Connecticut. It takes about 2 hours and there's nothing spectacular to see. There's a ton of bridges and a bunch of windmills. We pass through the state of Rhode Island and unfortunately we don't have any time to stop. We keep making our way towards Connecticut. Finally, we're almost there, but it's still a while till we reach our relative's house. The sun is set and I'm hoping we're there soon. We finally get there and get a really warm welcome. There's nothing like breaking bread with family. We haven't had Indian food in a while, so we're really excited to tuck in. It's day 6 and today is all about Gino and family. Today we're going to be indulging in my favorite activity, shopping. We hit all our favorite stores and stock up, and at night we decide to hit New Haven for their world famous pizza. We arrive at bar. Unfortunately, we're a little bit too late, so we decide to go down the road, visit the Yale University, and then we go to another really popular restaurant, Modern. Here in New Haven, they're famous for their thin crust pizzas, and I just love it like that. We order a bunch of different types of pizzas and we tuck in. What a great way to end our trip. The pizza is amazing, and there's lots of other restaurants that are great too, like Sally's and Pepe's. Day 7. After a tearful goodbye, we're ready to hit the road. The journey back is pretty uneventful, except for these military convoys. We're coming in through Gananoque, and it is truly spectacular. We make our way through customs and we've crossed over into Canada. I hope you enjoyed our trip videos to Maine, Boston, Cape Cod, and Connecticut. I'm glad we took you along. We had so much fun, but there's no place like home. There we go. Home, sweet home.